Clemson and Ohio State. The college football semifinal in Glendale, Arizona. For the second time in 4 years, these two teams will face off for a chance to go to the biggest stage in all of college sports, the national championship. You see, when they met 4 years ago, it was domination in the desert, right? You see, that night in Clemson, South Carolina, and it was an orange painted sunset. And up in Columbus, Ohio, it was a cold, wet, rainy night. But instead of me talking about what happened in Glendale, I put together something to let you see for yourself.
Tyler Durbin, ultra reliable until he missed his first two attempts against Michigan. Finally made the third one to force overtime, and this one is no good. From 47 yards, it drifted.
Hello, darkness,
47 tries on 47 again, overcorrects and hooks this one wide left.
talk with you again.
First and goal. Watson keeps it and scores, standing up and says, "Hush, Ohio State band." Tigers are getting closer. Separation. It's kind of into plan. And stopped behind the line. That time by Christian Wilkins. So Johnson was urged by his coaches to go back up that time. With the help from his teammates tonight, they have done that. In fact, absolutely.
Because a vision softly creeping left its scenes while I was sleeping. That is planted in my
Smith knocked down at the 15. Takes the pitch and just walks in to cap a tremendous creative evening with his Clemson offense. Month of preparation. They piled it on Watson, as you saw, offensive MVP. Got him once, and then got him twice with the edge of the bucket. But he's feeling no pain at the moment, Kurt. He didn't feel that at all. They have the golden football with those authentic diamonds. They are.
Oh my God. Oh my goodness. Look, that was tough to watch if you're a Buckeye fan. I had an amazing time putting that together because as Clemson and Ohio State fans know, we hate each other. Ohio State fans hate Clemson because Clemson has just dominated them. In the history, Clemson is 3-0 against the Buckeyes. Woody Hayes' coaching career ended against the Tigers when he punched one of the players in the face in the 1978 Gator Bowl. It's what you expect from an Ohio State man. Clemson hates Ohio State because of the sheer arrogance and entitlement that their fans feel. It is what it is. But that's all in the past, right? This year we're focusing on the 2019 Tigers versus the 2019 Buckeyes. Both are 13-0. Both have sensational quarterbacks, both from the state of Georgia. Really cool to see. Trevor Lawrence and Justin Fields. Justin Fields has been phenomenal the entire season. 40 touchdowns to 1 interception. I don't know if that's ever been done. Those numbers are just astronomical. Trevor Lawrence, on the other hand, coming off an unbelievable freshman campaign, going undefeated, winning the championship. He opened the season struggling, right? He struggled. He threw double the amount of picks in 4 games than he did all of last year. But since the first half of that Louisville game, Trevor Lawrence has been better than he was last year. Better than Joe Burrow, better than Justin Fields, better than Jalen Hurts, better than Tua. He's been better. And you may say, well, he doesn't have as many touchdowns. Yeah, he plays the first half of every game. He also hands the ball off to Etienne a lot. So the stats may not show that he's better, but if you watch the film and you watch this guy breaking down defenses, he's been phenomenal. Right, we have Brent Venables up on defense. Best D coordinator in college football. And then at Ohio State, we got Jeffrey Okudah. I think that's how you pronounce it. You got Chase Young, best defensive player in the nation. This game is going to be a slugfest. There's going to be 22 players on the field at each time, and there's going to be 15 to 18 future NFL players on the field at each time. That's how good these two teams are. This really has the feel of a national championship game. But here's why Ohio State is going to move to 0-4 all-time against Clemson. And it's unfortunately going to be Justin Fields. This season, when you watch the tape on Fields, as phenomenal as he's been, he's an unbelievable improviser. He's really top-notch, right? In a year, if Joe Burrow didn't have the year that he had, Justin Fields arguably would win the Heisman Trophy, right? But when you watch the film, and I've talked to Ohio State fans, and they agree with me, he holds the ball way too long, and the injuries are a problem. Because when you look at their quarterback depth chart, you see the guy behind him. I can't remember his name, but the guy behind him is a graduate transfer who's thrown 32 passes in his entire career, 26 of which were at Kentucky. So Justin's been dealing with the MCL sprain, and I understand that he is going to have a lot of time to heal. They're going to spend all the way up until the 28th or the 27th getting him 100%. But the problem is Brent Venables. That's the problem, right? Brent is such a problem. He brings pressure on over 45% of the plays that they run. And here's the thing. Yes, Ohio State has a good line, but Justin Fields has been sacked 27 times this year, right? And Clemson doesn't bring their pressure from the D-line. They bring it from the second and third levels, right? Skowski, Smith, Then we got back in the third level, Isaiah Simmons, one of the best, definitely in my opinion, a top 2 player defensively in the country. But you've got him, and then you've got an unbelievable firecracker in Tanner Muse. And this offensive line and J.K. Dobbins are not going to be able to control that. And if they try to get off quick passes, Clemson's got as good of a back seven as Ohio State. I know you Ohio State fans may not agree with that because of Tanner Muse, but when you look at Terrell, Kendrick, and Simmons, that trio right there can go head-to-head with anybody, right? Any receivers, because they go against guys like Justin Ross and T. Higgins daily. So Justin Fields is either going to get hurt, and that's unfortunate. I do not want the guy to get hurt, right? I want him to have a great game. As long as he loses, is what it is. But look, the problem he's going to run into is the offense is not going to be able to score as much as Clemson, right? Because it's been shown this year when you shut down Fields or you shut down Dobbins, the other isn't as productive. Whereas on the other side of the ball, Travis Etienne and Trevor Lawrence, that is the scariest backfield that college football probably has ever seen. To be quite honest, it is. If you shut down Etienne, you have a once-in-a-generation quarterback in Lawrence, right? If you shut down Lawrence, which is very hard to do, you have one of the best running backs in all of college football going to be a first-round pick. I saw a thing. Oh, hold on. Listen to that. I saw a thing where Pro Football Focus had a mock draft of him going to the Ravens. What? Lamar and Etienne together? That one's going to be, that would be dynamic. That would be absolutely surreal, that tandem. But here's the thing. Clemson's going to win. When Ohio State has the ball, Justin Fields has never been in this situation. He doesn't have the experience. Clemson has been for the last 5 years, right? They have the experience. No moment's ever going to be too big for them. Okay, but Justin Fields has never been in this situation. Ryan Day has never had to be the man in this situation. Whereas Clemson, offensively and defensively, and the coaching staff, they've all been in this. They've been to multiple titles. They've been to so many semifinals. Right, and Chase Young is going to make plays. Jeffrey Okudah is going to make plays. You know, there's no stopping that, okay? Those guys are going to cause havoc. But if you do not think that Dabo Swinney and company are going to game plan around the fact that Chase Young is going to change the game, and then, you know, you just take away Jeffrey, right? Okay? You can't double team Ross. You can't double team Higgins. You can't double team Rodgers, but you can double team Chase Young, right? So if you neutralize Young, you take away Jeffrey Okudah. God, I don't know if I'm saying it right. Is what it is, right? But if you take those guys away, who's going to guard Etienne going out in the flat? Who's going to guard Ross one-on-one? Who's going to guard Rodgers running a little skinny post, right? Nobody's going to be able to do that. Don't even forget about Joseph Ngata and Lynn J. Dixon, right? They're just not going to be able to do that because Clemson has too many weapons offensively, okay? And Clemson's strength defensively is their back seven. But they come with so much pressure that it neutralizes the lack of production that has been in the front seven, or the front four, I should say. But here's the thing. Offensively and defensively, Clemson has a very slight edge in my eyes. I could be so wrong, and you guys could come back to this video and you could tell me how absurdly wrong I was. And that's okay. I'll own it. But I don't think it's going to happen. You know, there's 3 phases of football. Offense, defense, special teams. Special teams, I'm going to give that edge to Ohio State. I have no idea about anything they've done special teams-wise. But I've seen B.T. Potter really struggle at times. You know, he comes and he makes a 50-yarder, but then he'll miss a chip shot 27-yarder, right? They're not going to return any kickoffs because Potter kicks out of the end zone every single time that man kicks off. Right? But when it comes down to a pressure field goal, I'm going to give that edge to Ohio State. Right? So you look at the Clemson wins on offense, very slight. Clemson wins on defense, very slight. Ohio State wins on special teams. But here's the big one right here, the coaching staff. Dabo Swinney, Tony Elliott, Jeff Scott, who will be coming back, Brent Venables, Brandon Streeter. All of these guys, this is nothing new to them, right? This is an annual trip. This is an annual business trip. Whereas Ryan Day and company, he's never had this situation, right? Chase Young, Justin Fields, right? Jeffrey, they have never been in this situation, but especially Ryan Day. And I'm not saying Ryan Day is a bad coach at all. I think he is a very good coach, okay? But I think it's going to be too big for him this time round. And if I had to give a final score prediction, a lot of people think it's going to be really close, and I do too for a long time, right? But I think near the end of the fourth quarter, Clemson's going to pull away. Clemson is going to win this game 37-24. Okay, but it's going to be 30-24 with about 4 minutes to go. Ohio State's going to need to come up with a big stop, and Etienne's going to break one, or we're going to run that read option, and Trevor's going to take off because his legs are going to be so huge in this game. So 37-24 is what I'm going to roll with the final. It's not going to be a domination in the desert, but it's going to look like it on the scoreboard. Clemson is going to move to 4-0 all-time against the little Buckeyes from up north, and they are going to go to their 2nd consecutive national title with a chance to win 3 in the last 4 years. Go Tigers. So look, y'all, that is my final score prediction for the Clemson-Ohio State game. I'm going to be shooting out one for the LSU-Oklahoma game. But for those of y'all that are still here watching, look, I appreciate you guys so much. You know, last video I received a lot of heat, but I loved it, right? Because I would rather people criticize me and I can find a way to become better, right? Versus somebody just blowing smoke up my butt and telling me how great everything is when it's not, right? I would rather take on the honesty because there's no way I'm going to get better, right? One LSU fan, this was crazy, man. An LSU fan told me that it's a shame I didn't drown in my mother's afterbirth. What? I don't know. I don't take it real personal like a lot of people do. I take it as motivation. But for those of y'all that are still here, again, I really appreciate the support. If you could please like, comment, and subscribe. But commenting and subscribing is such a big part because the interactions and also knowing who's a part of this journey means so much, and we can do so much going forward. I hope you guys liked the new intro video. I also hope that you liked the Clemson, Ohio State, little highlight reel I made. I don't know how to work technology, so this is all so brand new to me. But look, I love you guys. We're going to get better. We're going to keep this thing going. Stay tuned for the OU LSU prediction. Clemson 37-24. See y'all squandrels later. CB.
And look me in